Good afternoon and welcome back. It's Kent Bain of Nine Business Group with Elevate Your Business. Today we have Mike Cottingham as our special guest. Mike, please introduce yourself and your company and what makes you guys unique, what sets you apart.
Hi, Kent. Thanks very much for having me on today. So I'm Mike Cottingham. I own Razor Sharp Consulting. We're a pretty small to medium-sized software development agency in Calgary. I guess what sets us apart from our competition is the small feel that we give. We don't have 5 different tiers of project management in the way between yourself and the software developers that are actually building your project. We tend to actually leverage technology like Slack. So we'll put our clients and our developers actually into the same chat room, and they can chat all day long if they want. Clients are paying for our time. If they want to message us all day long, fine. We're not going to stop them. We find that a lot of people come to us after either developing something offshore, which sort of you come out with a bit of an amateur style solution. Usually technology doesn't scale very well, or it'll work for the first 1,000 users or something, then it just starts to fail or it becomes less performant. So a lot of times people will come to us and ask us to fix an application. We're a select level AWS partner, so we can offer really high quality solutions relatively inexpensively. Recently, we had a client come to us with a very monolithic style application that essentially means they had to, every time they want to make a single change to their app, they have to push the entire code base. Very prone to issues. You can imagine like a production release. That's pretty scary sometimes. So we were able to fully rebuild their application using microservices and an independent React client, very inexpensively, like 1/3 of the cost of their original development. And their solution is like infinitely scalable now. So that's
cool.
It's kind of what sets us apart.
Nice. So how long have you been doing it and what is the biggest challenge you've overcome since starting in business?
So we've been in business since 2016, I believe. I sort of was a software contractor for a bunch of different agencies like mine before this. I noticed a trend where there was just a lot of very expensive software that didn't do anything that was being built. And I didn't really want to be a part of that. I figured, why not just actually build the software out and let people play with it instead of charging them through the roof for nothing. One of the largest issues that we had sort of from start was paperwork. I'm not a lawyer, so I learned sort of early on. We built a really cool project, and I won't really mention too many specifics about these projects, but we built a really cool project for a client. We had 3 or 4 guys that I had to go and recruit to find. And at the end of the project, these guys terminated us and ended up taking all of our guys. So
like your employees?
Yeah, they took our employees. Yeah. And that was because we didn't have a non-solicitation clause in our contract, right? I thought I was naive. I knew this guy for quite a while. I didn't think he would do that kind of thing. That sort of thing happened. So, moving on, we adjusted our paperwork and learned some more lessons. Another clients in the future decided not to pay us. So then we had to go through legal battle there, learned a little bit more about paperwork. And so I guess, one of the major things that we learned is get a really good lawyer and make sure that your paperwork is absolutely rock solid. And don't be afraid to adjust it if things come up. So
So what is, I'm going to elaborate a little bit. What is the right number? Because I look at it, I've been working with clients for 15, 20 years now. On one end, you can overbuild everything on the front end and be prepared for the end of coming and no problems ever come. Where's the balancing act between making the investment on the front end in preparation of something bad happening versus reactionary? And I don't know, so I think somewhere in the middle is the truth, isn't it? What have you found? Like, what would be your recommendation for entrepreneurs going forward on that front?
Yeah.
Overbuild it on the front end, or?
Yeah, typically, these guys, they're investing their money, and a lot of times it's a lot of money to build a solution. So my advice is generally build the minimum viable product. So the least amount of software you need to build to make the thing work. You don't have to scale it for 1,000 users on day one, because you're not likely going to have 1,000 users on day one, right?
Okay.
Plan for that organic growth and plan for less expensive development cycle instead of spending 8 months building a solution that'll scale forever, and then find out that it's a crappy idea, right?
Interesting. So it's really about building the right application for the client at the right time, making scalable, but also affordable and bite-sizable, so that you can get paid, you're not overbuilding something, and then the client sees the value and wants to do business with you going forward.
That's right.
Cool. Okay.
And we always say that our success is our client's success, or our client's success is our success, right?
In the industry going forward, what do you think in the next 12, 18, even 24 months, what are the top 3 challenges that the industry faces in the world of software, technology, et cetera?
So software development is becoming very accessible. There's a lot of articles on Medium about just how to make an app, and you can read the whole article, and it'll tell you how to build an app, and you'll be able to deploy it to the App Store. So what's happening is that there's a lot of clever fellows and folks that are just figuring out how to write software and are doing that, but they don't have an engineering degree. They don't have a computer science degree. They just don't really understand the fundamentals of how to write proper software. So that what we're seeing, and I've been seeing this for the last several years, and I think we're going to continue seeing it for the next several years, is that people are going to be building very low cost apps that just absolutely suck. They're they're just garbage.
Okay.
So is like me to fix it, right?
So really, so what you're saying, and to non-technical the conversation, it's the barrier to entry to writing software is getting so low that anybody can do it now, and you don't need a certification. So if we applied it to plumbing or electrical, it'd be like, yeah, you learn how to be an electrician. If we didn't have an industry standard or a certification process, any kind of be plumber, they would charge you $25 an hour, and buyer beware.
Exactly.
So the biggest challenge really is the ease of entry to get into it, and because you don't need any certification.
That's right. And then people, they've watched a bunch of courses online and they learn how to talk the talk. But then when it comes to actually producing a solution, it's, full of inexperienced software developer errors, right?
Fascinating. Are there any other challenges that you guys face in the tech world?
Well, I mean, obviously that brings a ton of competition. So it's just, it's very interesting trying to navigate new sales calls and stuff nowadays.
Oh, okay. How are you doing for staffing? I've talked to some people in similar industries, and they're challenged with finding good quality bodies. How are you doing for keeping your team strong, growing the team, and finding the bodies you need? Yeah,
so we work with a few different small universities here in Calgary. The name of both of them is escaping. Well, SAIT is one of them, but the other one I can't remember the name of. They're much smaller. So they once a year or twice a year, they do these demos for us, and a bunch of different people like myself join these demos. And at the end, we get to get all the resumes of people, and we can try and hire whoever we want. So that's a lot of times sort of where we try to get people. I also have a pretty active Discord group that I'm a part of, that I sort of get people from that I maintain a bit of a bench in. But definitely finding quality people is difficult for the reasons I mentioned before, right? Anyone can talk the talk, and it's not hard to pass through an interview, right? You can do it.
So you need a lot, that interview process has to go from just a verbal conversation now probably to here's something, fix it.
Correct. Yeah, we always give a technical problem, and I've got a really clever little technical problem that I came up with that you can't find the solution for online.
Hey, good for you. Fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
it's pretty simple. It takes like 2 hours, but it's like, you know, you have to really think about it. If you're an engineer, you'll figure it out instantly. If you're not, well, I'm not gonna hire you anyways.
Awesome. Awesome. What's your definition of a successful business?
I guess I would say a business that always pays its bills, that has some longevity, you know, doesn't always have to worry about when their runway is going to end. I'm thinking a business that has multiple different sales funnels, multiple revenue channels. That's sort of my definition of a successful business.
Is that different than the definition of your successful business?
No, that pretty much nailed it. That's
cool.
Pretty much,
no,
that's my business. Yep.
Excellent. No, it's great. Like I said, that's one of my favorite questions. I've asked it, I think 13, 15 times now. And it's interesting the answers you get because they're not all that succinct. And I thought becoming a business coach that it was about revenue, time, team, and money and profit. And what's interesting is I think in the last 5 years, the definition of a successful business is shifting a little bit in that of how does the business work for me and what does the business do for me? And what can the business do for me is like, if it's a vehicle, where do I want the vehicle to take me? How fast do I want to go? Who do I want to go with? How big is it? So it's really been a lot of fun in the last 5 years to kind of watch business owners and entrepreneurs adjust their mindset to business ownership. So thank you. Last question. What do you want to be known for? 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you're looking back, you're writing the book, you're talking to your kids, a wife, grandkids, whatever. I want to be known for.
I would say breaking the fast, good, cheap triangle.
Oh,
and yeah, by actually providing solutions that are very, very good, but also fast and cheap.
interesting. How are you doing on that?
So far, very well.
All right. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
The technologies that we use enable us to build solutions that other companies would take months and months to build in weeks.
Well, good for you and keep it up. So that being said, can you give us an example of something you would build, who your ideal client might be, and where would people find you to learn more about what you do and how you can help them solve their business problems? Sure.
So I guess an ideal client would be really anybody looking to solve a problem with technology. Like I said, we just finished a work loan monitoring app for a client that we didn't leverage any existing technology. We built an Android app, an iOS app, and a desktop app to monitor it all. We've built blockchain technology stuff, really anything. So anyone looking to solve a problem with technology, the place to find us would probably be our website. rsc.dev is the shortest way to get to us.
Cool. rsc.dev. Sounds good. You've been a great guest. Thank you very much for spending 25 minutes with us today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and keep up the good work.
Right on. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.